Hi, welcome you all to the Crypto Singh Show, and my name is Gunpreet Singh, and we talk about Bitcoin, Metaverse, NFTs, everything on this show every single day. What's happening with the Bitcoin pricing, and where are the markets heading to? Everything in today's show. I welcome you all to the Crypto Singh Show, and before we move on, please do like, share, and subscribe. What's happening with the Bitcoin pricing? It's getting exciting. I mean, it's very exciting the times that we're in. Are we going up? Are we going down? Well, I have a lot to talk about, but today I'll again start with an update and get you an update. But in coming few days, I actually am preparing a presentation for everyone to exactly tell you what the world economic situation really is. And this world economic situation could mean anything for any kind of risk asset. Now, Bitcoin or Ethereum is no different from any other asset or any other economic situation. So what's happening with the world? Well, we'll discuss that in the coming times. But what's happening right now, we're on a weekend trade, and again, never believe in the weekend trade. And a lot of people got confused, saying that what I had actually put on Twitter and what I had spoken in the YouTube video. Well, so I want to clarify that a bit because people got confused there, and I got few messages saying that, is that contradictory to each other? So, well, not exactly. So I really want to explain you this, that the day the CPI number was coming out, I did tweet and I did say that we're still in a downtrend. Now, in my video, I said we're going to go up, and and I think we're going to go around 25,000 because I still think we're bullish on it, and then we're going to come down. So what I tweeted means that it's not about anything else, but we're in a bigger picture, we're in a downtrend. I made a video about a quick update, which meant that we're in a uptrend for the short term. Longer term, we are still in a downtrend. Now, why do I say that? Is also because there's been a liquidity crisis, there's been everything. And once I made that video, everyone was bearish on the CPI data that it's going to go down. But what happened? We again jumped back. And in my previous videos, you can actually check out any of those videos. And I've been saying that since a long time, that everyone said that 19,500 is the resistance or support. And I've been telling you it's not 19,500, it's actually 18,500. Now 18,500 is actually the resistance, or is actually the support kind of a thing. And where did we bounce back from? 18,100, 200, back to 19,600, 700. So look at that bounce that came in that day. And exactly what I said in my video that day, and exactly what I've been saying, that the 19,500, which is a 2017 high, is not really the high. I personally feel that 18,500 is the new 19,500 for us. Now, this is the update that I had for the pricing of Bitcoin. Now, what's gonna happen ahead, and what are we looking into? Well, did we break out? We haven't broken out, and we haven't broken down. Now, the breakout was expected, and it's not come yet, but that's the beauty of charts, and we do everything on probability. So the funny part is that we've actually not gone wrong on any of our videos till date, and there's not even a single video we've actually gone wrong on. So, and if you're listening to this and you're still not subscribed, so please subscribe it. So where are we heading to? Well, I think in coming times we're heading to a downfall again. But for now, I think we have a 60 to 70% chances of again breaking up. And I see the Bitcoin price going up for now around 22 to 23,000 or 24,000, because I still think there's one last kind of a relief rally left in the market for it to go up. And then when everyone gets bullish is exactly when it's going to happen, because what has started happening is a lot of people on social media have actually started becoming bearish. Now, when they start becoming bearish, is you have to realize that that's actually an indicator that we are going to go up. or the other way around, because social media is a perfect indicator in terms of what's going to happen in the market. And in my last video I said the charts are showing bearishness, and it did come down for about couple of hours, and then it again jumped back. So, and told you that the charts are showing bearishness, but I personally think we're going up, because there are too many people talking about bearishness, and right now again that is what is happening. Now eventually these markets are something that you have to realize are made to take money away from you. You might feel you have gained for a short term, but these are the markets that's how they work. They manipulate in a way that they'll take the money away from you. So you got to be careful and cautious about what's happening. And it's not just about Bitcoin. It's about the entire economy. It's about the liquidity crisis that the world is facing. India has just bought 200 tons of gold from UAE. This means that they're going to be dumping US dollars. Now, eventually, what does that mean? That everyone is getting bearish on US dollar when US dollar is rising. So this gives us an indication that US dollar, yes, is rising right now, but the future is not bright. But does that mean that the dollar would be finished tomorrow itself? Of course not. All of these things take time. India has increased its percentage of gold share to almost around 7%, and it will probably take over Japan very soon. And China is buying gold, India is buying gold, and they all are trying to dump US dollar. Now, there is a currency fight going on, which I have spoken about it in my previous videos again. Now, this currency fight is started with Russia, Ukraine, and so how this would emerge and what are the stands that all the countries are taking. It's important for any one of us to know why this is happening, because this directly or indirectly affects the markets that we are in, be it S&P, be it anything, Nasdaq, be it bond markets, be it anything, or Bitcoin, the crypto market. It affects us directly or indirectly in a way or two. So it's very important for us to really realize what's happening around the world and not be blind to what's happening. So and I personally think, again, I've been saying that India will be bullish is because there's a relative chart that you can actually see. Whenever the recession has come in, people have shifted their money to India or to the growing markets. Now, which is the growing market? It could be Africa, it could be India, it could be Brazil. All of these are the growing markets. So because if they're going to get a negative yield in all of these other markets, they'll probably get in positive here. So that really makes a huge difference. Now Bitcoin market, how is it related to Bitcoin market is, I'll tell you what has happened right now is that all the investors have put their money out and they've put it into US dollars, into currency of US dollar or US market. Now I think what has happened is that the US market is somewhere overhyped, because they put in so much money into it and it's overhyped the kind of prices. So we are yet to see a huge kind of a crash coming in. Now, huge for me, it's it's a lot of micro and macro economics involved into it. So technically I'll explain you everything. I'm just giving you a brief picture of what's happening around the world, just to get, for all of you to get an idea that the world does not work just on charts or probabilities. I mean, if you're in Bitcoin or you're into crypto, it's important for us to understand the economic situation and not just these coins, because the charts might say anything, which, I mean, charts are made to, we can see what's going to happen now, but we really need to see a longer picture always, and then put it on the charts and analyze what's happening right now. So that's how I always analyze my charts. I never analyze my charts thinking that, it's just for today. No, I see what's happening in the longer picture. I see what's coming in and I see what's going out and how the world is reacting to it. And that's exactly why we've been, show me one YouTuber who has 100% predicted in the way we've been doing. And we've been doing it time and again since we started our videos. And there's not even a single prediction that has actually gone wrong. So we've been predicting and we've been telling you how this is gonna face up. Right now we're in a wedge pattern, which is again 50-50, which might break down or break up. But my point of view, again, too many bearish people on social media were breaking up, irrespective of the charts. So I could be wrong, but this is again 60 to 70%. I'm not 90% sure on this kind of a move. So be careful, but we need to break up. So this is what it is, but we could break down also. That really depends on how the chart plays out in next couple of days. We'll kind of see that, and I personally feel that there's still a week to go before we again break up or break down, because it's taking some time. So eventually this is what has happened, but the world situation really is something that we really need to understand, that what's happening around the world. And US dollar is going to be taking a hit very soon, because we don't see the Feds decreasing the rates. I mean, they're going to be increasing it. In fact, if they start decreasing as they've started increasing, it might just bring in a disaster for the economies. Now, for the markets to understand, and I've been repeating, I need to repeat myself, that why I think that the bottom is still not in is because, try and understand, the markets here are still thinking Fed would print money. For them to realize that Fed is not going to print any more money. Now, once the market realizes that this is a reality now, and Fed will not print money, is when you would see the time bomb going on, and it's gonna get to a blast. So right now there's still a hope that people are living on, and again, if they start even printing money, I think it's again going to be a disaster. So eventually, how much money can you print now that they've increased rates in a so fast and quickly? So you might not as well now get into that thing of printing money. And 0.75 basis point, or I was expecting 0.5 for next month, which I think the Fed would do 0.5, but it seems like they might just go in for 0.75 and then another 0.5, and I think that should be it, or it should be like 0.5 and 0.25, and I just don't hope, and they're gonna, because they are pushing the economy into recession. So saying that, Fed is not fighting against inflation, they're actually fighting with inflation. So I don't think Fed is against inflation. So saying that, the economies, they are pushing it to a recessionary economy, and this recessionary economy would take place when we will see the job data is being come into negative and jobs being lost. So the world currency war has already started, and the recession, I think we are yet to see really what recession means. Less of traveling, less of spending, all of these things, and this liquidity crunch has already started. This is a sign that we are heading towards somewhere which is not really in probably a good direction. So keeping all of these things in mind, this is exactly what I have tweeted, that we're still in a downtrend. I don't see we're in an uptrend. How does it matter if we get one relief rally which takes us to 22, 25? Does this mean that we're in a bull trend? No, we're still in a bear trend. And this is not a channel where we tell you that we're gonna go 1 lakh tomorrow, just keep buying. Of course not. Look, we are here for a reality kind of a thing, and we show you the reality, we tell you what the reality really means. So the reality is that we are actually in a downtrend, and this downtrend is interesting because we have a currency war, we have liquidity crisis, we have economies getting down. So it's like this strip of pack of cards being piled on each one, and right now UK is shaking. You don't know which other country would shake. Sri Lanka is already down. Other countries are getting onto this, and would US is like the big daddy, right, which likes to be the big daddy, which eventually is fighting its position now in the world to be the big daddy. Now that is trying to save itself, and would it save the other countries? And if it saves the other countries, would it save themselves from it? It's a situation where anything could just trip right now, or anything could just balance it out right now. So I wouldn't really say that a disaster is just about to happen, because you really need to see all the factors that come in, right? And the markets have matured up since 2008. You're not going to see those kind of mistakes happening unless we see a war, a nuclear war again coming in, or a world war kind of a thing situation, which you cannot ignore. So all of these things are there. I mean, who knew World War I would come? Who knew World War II would come? Nobody expected these wars. Nobody expected COVID. I mean, did anybody, expect that we're gonna be in a stage, in a place in this world where we won't have flights, we won't have anyone, I mean, humans going out, we would have only animals going out. Well, so you can't ignore these facts totally that, look, this will never happen. Well, so, you really need to see that it might just happen. And I'll tell you something very interesting about a war. The wars are actually, they happen without anybody expecting them. When you expect a war or when there's a dialogue, trust me, 90% of the times the war won't happen because someone would come in and get it resolved. The wars actually happen without a dialogue. And that's the reality of the world. So when you don't expect is exactly when it's going to happen. And so, I mean, you can't ignore all these factors, but I'll explain you how the economic situation is and, how India is balancing itself, how Russia and Ukraine are balancing themselves, what China is looking into, what Japan is doing, and what US is up to, and what the Europe markets are up to. So this is the kind of the update I had for the Bitcoin pricing. I still think we have some time to go till we are zooming into this 18,500 to 19,500 kind of a range, and then we might break up or break down. But I want to give you a warning here. And this warning is that in case we break down, we're not stopping at 17,500. Well, take it as a good news, bad news, whatever you wish to. I mean, good news if you want to buy more, or bad news if you already have. But 17,500, we're not stopping now. It's going to go down to 14, 15,000. And that's when the panic attack would happen and people would just start selling. And I also want to tell you, I personally don't think we're going to 10,000. I have been saying 14, 15,000 since a long time, and I think that should be the bottom because the real money is ready to buy at that price, and if people would start buying in at that price. And you know who would be selling? You all. The retail would be selling at that price. So my expectation is if we break down, it's going to come heavy. If we break up, it's going to come heavy. Any movement will come heavy. This is not going to be a small movement. And 17,500 is a very minor resistance. And I think that's just going to be broken as easy as it can be. So, I mean, there might be a minor kind of a bounce at 17,500, but that's all. That's all I feel. I don't think there's anything more than that might happen. And it might not be able to sustain the power it's already generated in terms of coming down. So 17,500 would also be, it's almost like probably the minus, it's a very, very minor resistance. So that's the update I have for the Bitcoin, and that's all for now. And we'll see how this trades on a Monday. We'll see how this trades on a weekday, but stay tuned for more updates. And we are coming in with in-person coffee conversations. We're in our studio, and we'll be doing that starting the next month, and you'll see a whole new the Crypto Sing coffee sessions. So if you want to be updated with all of those, we're going to be promoting a lot of Indian startups. We're going to be promoting a lot of Indian projects. So we are going to be doing that on our coffee shows, and we're going to be calling all the heads of these CEOs of these companies, or heads to, for all of you for them to tell us what they are up to and what they're doing with their projects, and how India is shaping up into this technological world. So that's all for now, and I hope you're liking the content. If you are, please do like, share, and subscribe. Signing off, Gurpreet Singh from the Crypto Sing Show. Bye bye, take care.